Hey folks, and welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium for the 13th of July 2020. Today we're going to talk about, we're just going to run through a bunch of pairs. We're not going to talk about much else. So let's start with that. I'm just going to switch the scanner on just to see what is reaching the extremes. I was going to switch that on, let that run and see what happens. So we'll go through the weekly time frames on all symbols and to the hourly. So I'll let that run. Should take a minute. Alright, so that just popped up and there's not a whole lot going on, as you can see. So we'll just disable this. We'll have a look at these pairs and then we'll just run through normal supply and demand, buy and sell zone analysis. Let's start with the American dollar Swiss franc and see what that looks like. So this is excuse me, just here. Yeah, we're pretty low, as you can see. We've reached these historical levels that you can see pretty clearly. Last time price managed to come down to these areas, we had divergence here as well. Price left, and then we had something similar down here. We had a big push lower right here, and now we're getting close to those areas, as you can see here. So historically, what happened? Price had a bounce, so we can assume that maybe something similar will happen. You can see that's already starting to happen here on this time frame. And so what we would typically do is go down to a smaller time frame and look for a reason to buy. So before we do anything else, we need to mark off the buy zone. You know, we can just mark off the area of demand, which is just here from the buy zone to the low of the area. It's been tested once and twice, so the beginning of the buy zone for that area of demand was here, and now price went a little bit deeper as expected into this area, and now we're turning around a little bit. So let's go to the 4-hour and see. You can see pretty clearly here that that we've managed to find some support for price. We came down here, we moved up, we moved through this area here, we came down, we tested the edge of this area, and now we're looking to move higher. And so we can expect the price will wriggle a little bit higher for a while. We don't know for how long, but if we look higher at an opposing area of supply, I'm just going to do this very quickly, so this is very rough. So we have a historical level here below this area, removed it. The beginning of the sell zone is here, so we could expect price to maybe move up to this area just here. We had this area which was tested once, twice, 3 times, and this area removed it. So this is also an area, so we do have something here, and we do have this area just here, which could be interesting areas to consider once price gets back up there, if it gets up there. Let's see, maybe price will have another run high, but we do have some pretty clear currency strength divergence. And again, this is currency strength. We're not running this currency strength data to any secondary representations of price. This is pure currency strength. Okay, so this is it's pretty profound stuff, and so we can expect price to do something, probably move higher. We never know exactly, but there's a higher probability of price moving higher shorter term than there is it moving lower, because of the reasons that we've just discussed. So that's what we have there. On the Euro American dollar, we also have daily distributions. Let's have a look at that. So this should be looking to move lower, and we're on the daily chart. So yeah, we're very high. We've moved up. We're challenging these high levels here. Price came down, and now we're kind of stuck in this sideways price movement, as you can see. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen? This is pretty messy. So I want to have a look at the monthly and see. Yeah, there's still not a lot of clarity here. There's no supply until higher. We had something in here which was tested, went through, and so we have something in here. So this is where we have the only area of supply. It's been tested one time, so I'm thinking price could have an easy time kind of moving up towards the high area of this to roughly maybe this area here, to the upper edge of this area of supply. It's not a pretty area because price did not manage to really rocket away, but we did pull the slingshot back to here, and this is where this gradual decline in price managed to escape from. You can see we had this area of demand that was marked down here on the monthly. This box was drawn on the chart when this candle closed. Then we were told that we should have bought at this level here, and look how well that trade worked out. It poked into it. We had about a 5-to-1 on that one. Done. Done for that one, and that was just 1 month of trading. So that was a beautiful trade there. And now when we have this area above price, which price has tested, this is a nice area. This is a nice child. We do have this stuff in here that we have to contend with, but this is of course the monthly chart. So let's have a look on the smaller time frame. So if we have a look on the weekly, you can see that we've had a huge push lower into this area here. We almost reached this nested weekly area, and then price moved away, we accumulated, and then we left. And so price is kind of looking to maybe have another run for some higher prices. And we have something here. We've got this up here which I like, just here, which is still untested. The sell zone is here. So anything in this black space is fair game. But currently, I mean, price had a really strong push higher, so maybe there's some demand in this little leg here that we might want to consider having a look at. So let's have a look on the smaller time frames. And you can see here pretty clear that we did have an area just here. It was tested once, twice, 3 times, and now it's gone. And the area that did it is this one right here. So we do have an area of demand right there at the 1.0992 area. That's a pretty interesting area, and this is essentially where price, the origin of the run that traded above this area of supply originated from. This is the area that did it. This is the origin of the move just here, this pullback here. So you could argue that price had to come back to these levels here in order to move higher, but I'm thinking we'll probably have a reaction at this area here about the 1.1 area. I think that might be a pretty interesting area for price to have a bounce at, but again, that's pretty longer term. So let's have a look on the smaller time frame. Yeah, so this trade's already happened. We had this area here. This went above here. Which one did it? This is the one that did it. Price just tested it, and now we're slowly moving away to potentially this area here. And this is demand, because when price left here, we managed to move through this, which was tested quite a few times. Well, actually once we got close, we had this area. Price went through it. We established a sell zone, a deeper sell zone at the area of supply. This is gone. The origin of the move that did it is down here. So this is where we can expect price to have a bit of a bounce at, and the beginning of the buy zone is right there. So that's what we have. So patience, maybe in a couple of days that'll materialize. We have the Swiss franc Singapore dollar, and this is a weekly distribution. So let's go to the weekly chart. Yeah, you see we're pretty high. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean if it's high or low. It doesn't matter. But but I'm currently in this one here. Don't know how long this will last. But we got poked into this one because of this. I mean, last time price managed to get up there, we had a nice decline in price. There's no clarity there, so let's have a look on the smaller time frames. Yeah, you can see here that we had this area here, just here. The sell zone was actually right there, and this is where we got in, and price is slowly working. We'll have to be patient. The good thing about this is there's absolutely nothing in here to stop price from falling. We have a buy zone here, and we have demand down here, so this could fall nicely. We also have the swaps that are our friend, and so we're not losing money holding this position short. We're earning a tiny bit, but that's nice because this is probably going to take a while to materialize. But I'm thinking maybe price will come back down to here, but we'll have to Have to wait and see. Okay, so that was that. So let's have a look at the Australian dollar, American dollar. And if we look in here, I mean, prices, it was very low here. We poked through this area, and now we're getting pretty high. This happened here, and so maybe price is going to have a wriggle lower. But the fact that we are actually rebalancing this price inefficiency, where we had price kind of move south from here, and we're just returning to the origin. So this price inefficiency has been rebalanced, and so when this happens, I mean, price can easily do something. Oops, that was very ugly. Kind of continue to move up, but we'll have to wait and see. We don't really have anything until here. Here we have a sell zone for this supply, and above that we've got this here, and we've got this little one in here. So there are a couple of reasons above price, but I'm thinking price could easily move to the highs of here, because this is essentially where we do have a sell zone right there, for this area of supply just here. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe a pullback to that daily area of demand, which I think is quite interesting. Just here, this might be an interesting area to assess. Maybe something like that, because we had, I mean, this big push lower originated from here. This one originated from there, and it was tested once, and price rallied, moved sideways, and we cut through it. And the origin of that move is right there. Okay, sorry, this is the area of demand that did it. The origin of the move is, well, it's not a very clear origin. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And so price, if it doesn't react here, I'm thinking it's going to move down to here, which is the next area of demand. And this is demand because we had this area here of supply that was tested. Oops, wrong thing. It was tested here, and this area removed it. So this is also a nice area. You can have a shot here. If that doesn't work, wait until price comes here, if it does. So that's what we have on that one. Let's have a look at some shorter term stuff on the daily chart. Yeah, we did have kind of a similar thing we saw a second ago, where we had this here, which was removed, the origin of the move, where we had this one here. This is kind of where it originated from. So this is the area that did it, but this is the origin of it is up here. And so the software found that this is a little area here. Price poked to it. Now we're having a bit of a move lower, and we do have this one here. We had kind of a lot of trading. This is that area we just saw. Price tested a little bit. Price managed to move through it. This is the area of demand. This is the buy zone for that area. Okay, there's nothing in here. This is just kind of choppy, messy stuff. So I wouldn't do anything there. Anyway, price managed to pull back to here, for this little area of demand here. Yeah, so we'll have to see what happens there. Let's have a look at the British pound, then I'm going to stop. I want to keep this video short. If we have a look at the daily chart, what's price doing? You know, looks like we're challenging something in here. Okay, there was something in here. Now it's gone. There's probably something. I'm thinking this is it right there. This is the one that did it. Price kind of found a sell zone right there. Tested. Price kept going deeper to the supply, and we turned around. And so now we're probably, well, it looks like we're testing. Let's see. This area, this sell zone just here. Not quite, but you do see that we had a low, high, low, and then price is here. When price does that, when price comes down to an area and doesn't go through it but continues to move higher, well, then there's a high likelihood that it's going to continue moving north to likely this area of supply just here. So I'd be comfortable waiting for price to come up there, and I wouldn't be comfortable doing a whole lot down here. Buying in this leg would be fine. Let's have a look on the hourly, see if there's anything there case we had something in here that was holding price, tested, price went through it, we'd failed. The buy zone is here, the demand is down here. So we might have a reaction there. The price has already been messing around in that area. Despite that fact, we'll likely have a reaction somewhere in here. If we have a look at that, a little bit, oops, let me remove this. Have a zoom. Okay, so we had price kind of moving higher, moving sideways, pulled price back. We formed this lovely area just here, and then we cut away. So I think this is a pretty nice area of demand around here. And the buy zone starts right there at the, can't even see what that says. Zoom in and have a look. I can't see. God, my eyes are getting worse and worse. It seems better do some eye exercises. But I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below or in the Discord channel. And thanks again for watching.